Portugal twins its radiance with an unassuming warmth that welcomes everyone. There's beauty at every turn, along the azulejo-lined streets of the capital, Lisbon, among the vine-laced slopes and winding waterways of the Douro Valley, and on mile after mile of the country's Atlantic coast, whether at the surf-pounded cliffs of the far west or the sandy, low-lying barrier islands near the Spanish border. Portuguese hospitality is genuine and inclusive. Children are treasured, not tolerated, and English is widely spoken. And while Portugal's reputation for food and wine is growing, you can dine divinely here at a fraction of the cost of some of Europe's haughtier gourmet destinations. Whether you're tucking into simple grilled sardines, a fragrant stew, or a creamy pastel de nata, there's a perfect local vintage to pair it with, from intense reds and crisp whites to a plummy port, or the easy-drinking, lightly sparkling vino verde that tastes like sunshine in a glass. Part of Portugal's charm is in its shape-shifting variety, its ability to be all things to all visitors. Beach lounging, wave surfing, wine tasting, hill walking, bar hopping, wildlife spotting, they're all on offer, and located so close together you can easily combine more than one in a single trip. Both Lisbon and Porto have cemented their reputations as stellar city break choices, chock full of stylish but not standoffish boutique hotels, eye-catching street art, and hilltop viewpoints made for panoramic pictures. And while both have all the museums, galleries, and cathedrals a serious sightseer could wish for, you can imbibe Portuguese culture in more immersive ways too, by listening to the plaintive strains of traditional fado music in Lisbon's backstreet clubs, or by tasting vintage port in the age-old cellars of Vila Nova de Gaia, Porto's South Bank twin. Both cities are also gateways to other amazing destinations. From Lisbon, discover the fairytale palaces of Sintra, or head south to the glowing sands of Comporta, the Alentejo's stylish, sybaritic coastal enclave. Porto is the starting point for visits to the Douro Valley, the world's oldest demarcated wine region. Perhaps the best-known way to visit is by cruise, but there's also a picturesque train line that runs the length of the valley. Once there, stop off for tours and tastings at the wine-producing quintas that dot the riverbanks. Every corner of Portugal is a hiker's paradise, from the lofty peaks of the Peneda Gerês National Park in the north to the coastal trails that run along the wild west coast of the Alentejo and down into the Algarve. Whether you want to take on one of the multi-day long-distance trails or simply head out for an hour's amble, you'll find well-marked paths and easy-on-the-eye views. In the far, sunny south, the Algarve might be Portugal's most misunderstood corner. There's a lot more here than meets the eye. It's unapologetically developed, and the happy families who enjoy its long golden beaches and the golfers who tee off on its well-groomed courses can attest to its mainstream appeal. But alongside these resorts are pretty traditional villages like Olao and Tavira, the wildlife-filled wetlands of the Rio Formosa National Park, and the lofty cliffs of the Sagres Peninsula. As if that wasn't enough, Portugal has two island groups to discover. Madeira is a lush, volcanic paradise with inky cliffs and dusky beaches, plus emerald valleys and cascading cataracts set 300 miles off the coast of Morocco. The Azores are wilder still, 9 islands flung even further into the Atlantic on the migration route for whales, with geothermal springs, sapphire crater lakes, and snaking lava tunnels. Both are playgrounds for active pursuits, from hiking and cycling to canyoning and kayaking. Wherever you go in Portugal, you're sure to experience one more traditional element of Portuguese culture when you leave: saudade, a melancholy, nostalgic longing for something that brought you great happiness. For more advice and recommendations from the Times Travel team, visit thetimes.co.uk/travel.